so big. Cancel this. When you turn on a YouTube video, you want to get something out of it because nobody wants to waste their time, right? I mean, I guess we waste our time sometimes, but mostly we don't want to waste our time. So how do we do that? How do we make sure that we're telling interesting things about our lives and we get people to stick around? That's the big thing. You want people to come back. How can you get people to relate? We're going to find out. Today we are going to Ijams Nature Center, and this is a big place here in Knoxville. It's very popular. Really, are we doing this? Just in the middle of the road waiting for our parking spots. They gave up and I get the parking spots. So what adds value to your videos? Tell a story. Tell a story. And really, I mean, you've heard it before. You have to have certain parts to your story that really make it good for people. You know, you want people to relate to it. And that is why we're here today at Ijams Nature Center to talk a little bit about how to add value and tell a story. I mean, when you think about it, Casey Neistat, everyone that does a successful YouTube channel does that. How are y'all doing? How's it going? Everyone who does a successful YouTube channel does that. They tell a story. Now we have the opportunity to join one of the coolest and longest traditions of humankind, storytelling. So don't just string together a bunch of shots in a video and call it a story or call it something that people want to watch. Show me something I haven't seen before. Tell me something I haven't heard before. I've seen too many travel videos now that just string together a bunch of shots of New York or pretty people walking around and doing things, and it just doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't really make me feel anything, even if the music's really cool. Honestly, the music is really cool sometimes, but you need to tell me something, and I really want to explore how we do that. Let's check it out. So a good story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. You have to have that. It simulates life in a way. I mean, when you think about it, when you were born, you may not remember that. I don't know that anybody remembers it, but that was the beginning of your life. So then you have a middle. You have a middle where you would be right now, probably, where you're experiencing things and you're learning things, and there's little parts to that. So in the middle, a lot of times you have different plot points. I'm going to take you back to literature class where you had a plot. You remember those literary terms? Yeah, that was a long time ago for me. I barely remember it. But when you think about plot points, you have to have something that happens. That's what makes things interesting. You have to have things happen to characters. And then once they happen to characters, then the characters might learn something. And you know something more about the character now. You remember, oh yeah, they went through that. And so now they know how to deal with that because they went through it. It's the same thing that you have in your real life. In your own life. You go through something and then you learn from it. And how do you learn? You learn from conflict. Yes, conflict. And every movie you've ever watched has it, where the main character has to go through something that he or she probably doesn't want to go through. And when you do that, that's actually I'm losing my mind. That's how you develop a character. Things happen to that character and then the audience gets an idea about who that character is based on what they went through and what they know. And sometimes the audience has gone through something similar. If you create something like me going on a walk right now, people have probably done that before. You've probably been out in nature and it's looked a lot like this. So yeah, that brings up another important point, which you just saw, setting. What's my setting today? It is a beautiful, beautiful walking trail here at Ijams Nature Center. A great place here in Knoxville to go and just enjoy the weather that we've been having, especially with coronavirus and all that stuff going around. It's a good way to keep socially distant. You don't see too many people out here on the trail. Why is setting important to the story? Well, the setting is the place where the characters are going to be, and oftentimes they interact with the setting. So a lot of times characters' behavior and the things that happen to them are because they're in certain settings. So for me right now, I'm walking and I'm a little bit out of breath. Oh boy, because it's a beautiful day, which is part of the setting, the time and place. And then also I'm here on the walking trail. So I'm gonna walk, and it's important to show that setting off. And oftentimes you need to do that with wide shots. You need to let folks know where you are. Ugh. Goodness gracious, that is heavy. So remember, for a vlog, that you are the character. So for this vlog, you've got to know a little bit about me. I'm not in particularly good shape. The goal is to create a connection. That's where people want to feel things. They want to connect with the people in your films, in your stories. And that can be pretty tough to do. But using some of these literary terms can help. So you got your plot, your setting, and your characters. And when you have those things defined, it becomes something that's not a travel video, not a bunch of random shots just strung together. It's actually becoming something that people want to watch. So yeah, if you like what you heard and saw here, I'm gonna do the same thing that everybody else does on YouTube. Like, subscribe. I'm hopefully gonna try to talk a little bit about storytelling, a little bit about how you can use your camera to really tell people something and help people connect, and tell them something that they haven't heard before, or let them see something that they haven't seen before. That's the big thing. I've walked a long way. This is my first time here at Ijams. I don't really know where I am, so I'm just gonna go back the way I came instead of trying to walk around, because I don't know if I can make it, to be honest with you. But hey, thanks for watching. Very popular. They just reopened. I mean, you've heard it before. It's am I on my face? Nope, lost me. Come on, man.